tested in a steel cage, and then you have lethal lockdown, which is kind of like their version of Hell in the Cell with 10 men, and then a roof comes down with weapons. That's delivered. And they had you have Slammiversary was money Slam. Oh my God, they haven't had one in so long.
King of the Mountain.
King of the Mountain. You know, another gimmick match that TNA did so very well, and in comes Hogan and Bischoff, and they scrap money. They scrap King of the Mountain.
I don't think it was all Hogan and Bischoff.
You haven't seen an Ultimate X match on a pay-per-view in God knows how long. When are you going to bring that back? When no one cares or no one wants to see it?
No, that's what.
Then you're going to put someone like Doug Williams and Brian Kendrick in it, who Doug Williams has no reason to be in an Ultimate X match, which is another reason. But then again, they put Hernandez in an Ultimate X match, and Hernandez delivered in that match.
And a couple closing comments, because we are probably out of time on this vid.
Sorry guys, camera cut out. Brian wasn't coming over. Brian was just in the middle of talking about the last night's main event, triple threat match, and the turn with Jeff Hardy had Vince Russo written all over it.
Oh, it so did. I mean, Vince Russo's writing in the WWE when it was still the WWF was good. Me and Joe were just talking about it. Vince Russo's writing in TNA off the beginning was good. Vince Russo, as of late, has been lacking. But I mean...
Hence, the electric steel cage from Lockdown 07. With the Dudley Boys and LAX. The electrified cage was garbage. All that was sound effects and lights. That was it.
But you know, if it was actually an electrified steel cage, that probably would have been pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But just like the first time I saw an Inferno match, I was like, holy shit, the side of the ring is actually on fire. You know, like how close these guys are actually coming to just like being engulfed in flames? Like,
it was amazing.
I guess what we're trying to say is, you know, the whole point of this video is not to talk about, I guess, anything really in particular except for...
Anything in particular pertaining to wrestling.
Well, it is pertaining to wrestling. But it's not, we're not like geared towards one topic like we usually are. This is kind of...
a rant shoot, as you would like, some would like to say.
This is a different side of wrestling.
This is what me and Brian think of it. It's us in front of the camera having a discussion with our viewers.
Exactly, and it's not just like we usually do, where we're sitting here reading off results and we're, you know, trying to be polished and clean. You see, we're outside. This is a nighttime shoot. You know, we've been having very engaging discussions about wrestling in the past couple of days, and some of them have even gotten a little heated between the two of us.
Yeah.
And you know, we figured, why not
do it in front of the camera?
Exactly.
You know,
so like, what was one of the things that we did talk about?
Well, you know, first I want to say this, and you know, last night's Jeff Hardy and they gimmick thing that's going on right now is pretty interesting, because, you know, it got us thinking.
One of our viewers says that I was so excited I wanted to cream in my pants.
We sit there and we were thinking about it last night. Me and Brian, literally, when we saw Jeff Hardy cane Kurt Angle, me and him, our jaws dropped, and we looked at each other. At least we looked at each other, looked back at the TV, looked at each other, back to the TV at least 3 or 4 times.
I mean, it was. And
amazing. You know what? I saw the look on Jeff Hardy. I seen the look on Jeff Hardy's face when he pinned Anderson, and you know what? It really didn't look like that was something he wanted to do. You know, Jeff Hardy was always the type of guy to be about the fans and, you know, do things for the fans and everything. And, you know, there was a video on YouTube a couple of months back where Jeff Hardy did something for a fan that was very ill. He was like 6 or 7 years old, and it really got to me, because this kid is just a pure Jeff Hardy fan. And then he, you know, and this kid's battling cancer. He's battling all these illnesses. And, you know, kids look up to Jeff Hardy, and just for them to, you know,
well, I mean,
really didn't look like...
It's the same kind of turn they did with Hulk Hogan. I mean, different dynamic in the character that they churned, but it's the same type of churn. They took Hulk Hogan, drink your vitamins, eat your milk.
Drink your vitamins and say your prayers.
Eat your vitamins and drink your milk, excuse me. They took a character that was, you know, such a baby face, you could never imagine him turning heel. He wasn't a tweener. I mean, he was a baby face, and they turned him heel. And they took a guy like Jeff Hardy, which, you know, he could be a little controversial. You know, you turn him the wrong way, I mean, he's not going to stand for it. But, I mean, they turned him pure heel last night. And in the process, not only they turned Jeff Jarrett heel, they turned Bischoff heel, and they turned Hogan heel. This, I mean, was cemented as the biggest heel in the business. But they firmly went against what Dixie wanted. Now, how is this gonna...
I don't know how this is gonna play out. Just hope that they continue to push Anderson, because I really want to see this guy on top of the mountain soon.
I hope they push this They stable a little bit more, because I mean Jeff Jarrett could go.
Do you think maybe They is? Do you think They is maybe the TNA's version of maybe the Nexus?
I think They is TNA's version of the New World Order.
Yeah. You know,
we have the Four Horsemen. We have ECW. We have God, the words just fell right out of my mouth. They, who is, I believe, TNA's version of the New World Order. So New World Order, Fortune, and you know what? For everybody that really liked that smile yesterday.
So you know, it's like I was saying. Me and Brian, you know, we sit down, we do these videos. We have just so many thoughts running through our heads, and not enough time.
Exactly.
And you know, we're going to do this every few weeks. When we have something that we want to get off our chest, we're just going to sit down in front of the camera. No time format, no nothing. If the video goes a half an hour...
We talked a lot about TNA. Why don't we jump over to WWE? And here's a thing that I've thought of. Daniel Bryan, they put the United States title on him. But then they have the Miz and Alex Riley beat the living crap out of him, and totally, like, no one comes to this guy's aid. You're telling me not Mark Henry, Evan Bourne, not a single person's gonna come out. I mean, come on, they're all a pretty tight group now. It's, you know, A and B's. I mean, there is no, like, middle ground anymore. It's either, like, you're good or bad on Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, at least SmackDown's got, you know, some in-betweeners, you know, some loners, this, that, and the other. But, I mean, Raw is like, you're either next us or you're against us. I mean, it's, like, so cut and dry. Speaking of Evan Airborne, he is injured, guys.
Yes.
You know, send your wishes out to him. Hope he gets better soon.
Speaking of Nexus, this Thursday night, when I get paid, Brian and I are buying our tickets to go see WWE. It's a WWE live show, and it's also Fan Appreciation Day.
First time the WWE has been in the XL Center in Scenic Hartford, Connecticut in quite some time. XL Center has been completely redone. If you guys want to go see it, tickets are $10, $20, not too much money at all. I was on Ticketmaster tonight. There were seats available, I think 10 to 15 rows back.
Yeah,
which isn't too bad.
Me and Brian are also going because there's going to be some wrestlers that we know if they do autograph signings. There are some wrestlers. You know, I'm definitely looking forward if I can get a chance to meet Wade Barrett. You know, I'd like to meet Orton. You know, Brian really wants to go and see Taker and Show and Kane.
Not really so much Kane, but I definitely would like to see Taker. I'd like to see Show. To be honest, I would like to meet MVP. You know, if McIntyre was there, I think he would be an interesting guy to meet. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, I'll be honest, I really like what SmackDown has been doing lately. I know JC not as much, but I like what they've been doing, and I think now that they're on a cable network who is going to infuse them with some more capital than probably the network TV networks were giving them, we're going to see a lot better show. I think we're going to see WWE's B2C show step it up with Raw. I think that's the plan, and I hope they follow through.
I hope so, because you know why? I mean, I was sitting there and watching the SmackDown live on Sci-Fi, and you know what? To be honest, I couldn't sit down and watch it. To me, it still felt like it didn't really make a difference. I mean, there's no one on SmackDown that I really want to see. You know, I mean, you got Taker and Kane ruling over there, you know, and there's not really enough time to give some of the younger guys. And you have Alberto Del Rio come out, and he has a 10-minute promo. And then you have Jack Swagger come out, and he's got a 10-minute promo.
But I honestly think they've been built Del Rio quite good. I think Swagger they've kind of dropped the ball on. I think they've dropped the ball on Kofi Kingston. I think they've kind of kept it together with a lot of their mid-carders that were being pushed early to mid last year have just been completely dropped, and they're spending all this time bringing in new talent. I feel bad for Alberto Del Rio, because once he gets to that point where they get to that point where okay, they don't really want to push him, so they're gonna put him into the mid card. I feel bad because this guy came out from Mexico, the biggest wrestler in Mexico, one of the most popular. He has a good run with Rey Mysterio. He had a little bit of a good run with Christian, and you know what? There's only so many other wrestlers he can run through before he comes stagnant, and WWE doesn't know what to do with them, and you wind up seeing him on Raw again. Because that's the way that the storylines are written. That currently it's either total domination or nothing at all. There is.
I think what it is WWE. You know, not to take
they
a
run
line,
the same story for 20 years.
Not to steal a line from Back to the Future, which is both Brian and I's favorite movie.
I love Back to the Future.
We'll go all the way back to 2003 when Rock left. Austin finally hung up his trumps. Shawn Michaels was out for a couple of weeks, you know, out for a year, came back, you know. They had a good enough timeline where they could have spent all this time building wrestlers. What they rather have done, they rather have had keep the belt on certain guys. The guys that were already over spewed down into this tangent, creating what I like to call the crappy WWE that is on TV now. And then you're going to have this Nexus storyline, which is kind of bringing WWE up a little bit out of this little shitty tangent that we've had. But the thing is, we need something that's going to shoot them up, bring them back to where they are. I'm hoping that
the storyline did for TNA.
Yeah, I'm hoping WWE finally comes out of this shell of being lazy, because that's all it really comes down to. The creative team is lazy. SmackDown's being written by P.S. Michael Hayes. You know, you got all these people, but yet they're not producing any good storylines anymore. You need to start building these wrestlers that aren't being used, because this is what's going to happen. They're going to lose guys like Christian again. They're going to lose Kofi. They're going to lose Morrison. They're going to lose all these guys who can deliver that they're failing to do anything with, and they're going to seek business elsewhere. I watched a video on YouTube today. I don't remember when it was dated. It was Tyler Black from ROH on HDNet. Said, and Cornette was in the ring and said, you know, you've been most popular in this wrestling community as of late because you're in a bidding war. WWE's trying to sign him to a contract, and he said it himself. Well, who else can compete with a multi-billionaire from Stamford, Connecticut? He says, how much would I be worth to go on live TV on another network, on another wrestling company's network with the ROH title? Okay, you know, it's
yeah, but I mean,
again, I feel bad for him. If Tyler Black signs with the WWE, having so much potential he had in ROH, he's going to be misused in the WWE.
Well, he's not going to just be misused. He's going to find himself a small dog in the big pool. Because you can say whatever.
You have guys like Taker, Kane, Triple H.
Well, you can say whatever. Hold on a second. You can say whatever you want about the WWE guys, but these guys are on the road a lot longer than a lot of the other promotions in the North American league right now. These guys are constantly doing house shows, constantly doing live events, constantly beating up their body. I mean, Impact has a very lenient taping schedule. I mean,
yeah, but traveling really doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean,
traveling has a lot to do with it. These guys are getting
the fact
tired.
Is the matter. The fact of the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, okay, you're saying these guys are getting tired, but yet WWE's not giving anybody any time when they're keeping the strap on Orton, Sheamus, Triple H, you know, keeping Kane and Taker. You know,
well,
we need fresh faces in a main event picture. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, I think the thing about it is if you look back historically,
they spent the year building Sheamus up, and they gave him a title. They gave him a title ring.
Well, you look back historically, Joe. I mean, you look back historically, and who's you know, been the champ, and look how many WWE champions there actually has been. There's only ever been a couple top guys in the company at one given time, and I think we're getting more.
And let's
I think currently we've gotten more top guys than we have in previous years.
Like you said earlier, the first part of this video, you said that, you know, the United States title, you know, and how the X Division title is losing its prestige. Intercontinental title is losing prestige as well, because the Intercontinental title is being properly misbooked. The United States title, you know, had a somewhat of a good booking at last week's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell.
The Intercontinental title has been so-so. I mean, we've seen
that was a title that you would come in and you would be like, hey, you know what? I can't make it as world champion, but I got the Intercontinental title, and you know, right now that's good enough. That title excelled the careers of so many young talent that we are seeing today.
An interesting fact, 1/3 of Intercontinental champions went on to become WWE or World Heavyweight
Bret
champion.
Hart, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, The Rock, Austin. Hey guys, we're going to wrap this up for this week. I'm JC Styles.
I'm Brian Crazy.
Please check us out.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and we're going to continue this conversation next week.
next week. So have a good one.